He says, I want you to know that you're giving us hope.
Now at 6, neighbors and sisters grateful for firefighters as they work to contain the Aqua Butte fire. We have the latest on the fire's containment plus.
Oh my God, this guy's crazy. And he's driving in reverse right now.
An apparent case of road rage in Beaverton, all caught on camera. What the driver of this Subaru is being charged with.
And we are less than a week out from the Washington primary, the key races you'll want to keep an eye on ahead in a live report. And later.
We're 6 innings deep. It's 8-5. This game's been a zoo.
Yeah, a zoo is one way to put it. All kinds of animals were on the mound at Comerica Park, from birds to tigers to squirrels. Just how many people it took to catch this squirrel that ran onto the field mid-game. That coming up as your Sunrise News at Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Wednesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us. China's going to make sure that all of our tray tables are in the upright position, and where to grab our masks if we lose pressure. Yes. And Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis are just going to do the weather and traffic.
You were pointing out the exits. Don't forget to point out the emergency floor lighting that will lead you to an exit. You got to do this move right here, China. Very good. Yeah. If you don't know, former flight attendant here. Here's our look at our Salem sky camera. Beautiful clear skies over the state capitol, 59 degrees. Just going to be really a lovely day. There's no marine deck. We have sunshine at the coast this morning as well. Rose City, there it is, 59 degrees right now looking across the Willamette. Sun up was 5:51. It will go down tonight at 8:42, 72 degrees at noon. High today, 83. Enjoy. Here's Chris.
Okay, Rod, thank you for that. We pick it up with this traffic alert in North Portland. I'll step out of the way. You can see a car has turned over on its side here on a tight residential street. This is up in the Arbor Lodge neighborhood near North Greenwich and just north of Bryan, it appears. The good news that we hear from Portland Fire and Rescue is that only minor injuries were suffered, but they say they actually had to cut the driver out through the windshield. This happened about, an hour ago, and you can see crews are still working to get that clear. Again, North Greenwich right now blocked near North Bryan in the Arbor Lodge neighborhood. Okay, back to your freeway drive this morning. This is a look at the Banfield. There's the ramp onto I-5 north and south, for that matter. You can see traffic is zipping along just fine there. Door number 2 takes us over to the Sunset. That looks good. And guys, right now the freeways are rolling along at a speed limit clip.
Chris, thank you. Well, as Oregon deals with what will likely be a record-breaking year for fires in the state, they were dealt another financial blow.
Yeah, federal grants for 2 of the largest fires were just denied. And while Governor Tina Kotek announced the Trump administration signed off on FEMA funding for the Aqua Butte fire, the feds denied assistance on 2 of the largest fires in the state, the East Evans Creek and the Roe Creek complex. Those combined have racked up more than $70 million to fight.
It's hard to tell what the number should be until we understand how the federal government's going to be joining us to cover the costs.
In a letter to FEMA officials, Senators Merkley and Wyden are questioning that, calling the decision to deny, quote, significant departure from FEMA's historical criteria and agency guidance. They say both wildfires meet the threshold for aid.
The Bench and Beachcomb fires are hurting neighboring communities there. Most of the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs Reservation have been under level 3 go now evacuations since Saturday. The Tribes Council called a state of emergency, and now they're asking for more help. If you're looking for ways to help, we plan to speak with the tribe's CEO later today. Stick with KGW for updates on what they need.
A lot of progress is being made on the Aqua Butte fire. This one has burned over 27,000 acres near Sisters, and even more of the evacuation orders have been downgraded with containment at 10%. Officials are thinking around 1,600 crew members who have worked in this firefight and sharing a moment from a grateful neighbor that stuck with them.
He says, I want you to know that you're giving us hope. That's cool. That's powerful. That we are here to give you hope. That's an awesome responsibility.
Much of the crew is now headed north to help fight the Bench fire.
And firefighters from our area are back home after being deployed across the state to help fight the dozens of wildfires burning. Hillsborough Battalion Chief Ben Tanner and Eric Keim, along with others, have just returned home from Central Oregon. These images here show crews racing to protect buildings. The Bench fire has already destroyed 6 homes and 5 outbuildings. They say a majority of the focus was on defending communities and important infrastructure.
Well, just 1 week into the job, the North Plains interim city manager has quit, making him the 9th city official or staff member to leave in the last year. Gary Marks was hired for a 6-month contract just last week. He didn't say why he was leaving. 3 city councilors and a mayor have left since last summer, all with different reasons for quitting. The city assistant planner and the library and administrative services director are also leaving at the end of the month, which means the city will not have any administrative leadership. City council will have to come up with a plan. In the meantime, the public services building will be closed.
A Portland City Council committee spent hours breaking down plans for a new Broadway-style theater at Portland State University. The 3,000-seat theater would be city-owned, even though it's part of PSU's new Performing Arts and Culture Complex. The city and PSU say the project already has millions in state and public-private funding. As for what that means for Keller Auditorium, the city is looking at scaling back that theater and possibly removing some of the seats for smaller performances once the PSU theater is completed. And a vote is now scheduled for August 11th. If approved, the goal is for the new theater to open by 2030. Then a renovation at Keller would follow.
Portland being nationally recognized for a trash removal initiative, which pays homeless people to clean up the city's streets. The Glitter program started during COVID in partnership with the nonprofit Ground Score Association. In 2022, we spoke to glitter workers, including Angela McGuire, who now manages the program and spoke at the award ceremony.
So people are cleaning up their lives, cleaning up the city, and feeling much better about themselves and who we are as a person.
And the award comes with a $270,000 grant.
Washington's primary election is less than a week away, and one of the most competitive congressional races in the country is in Southwest Washington, with voters set to help decide who moves on to the general election.
That's not the only decision on the ballot. Voters in part of Clark County are also being asked to weigh in on a multi-million-dollar fire district bond. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live with what voters need to know. Corey.
Yeah, Matthew, China, that's exactly right. At the top of the ballot is the race for Washington's 3rd congressional district. It's a seat that's viewed as critical in the battle for control over the U.S. House. Now, 9 candidates are now competing in the primary, though Republican State Senator John Braun and Democratic U.S. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez are widely considered the frontrunners. Keep in mind, Washington has a top 2 primary system, meaning everyone runs on one ballot regardless of party, and the top 2 vote getters move on to the November general election, even if they're from the same party. It's certainly a big race to watch as it elects a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, where Republicans currently hold a narrow majority.
I just really care about where I'm from. I care about being able to represent ordinary people.
A district that really demands that you go out and solve the problems they're facing, and I think my reputation says I can do that.
Voters in Clark County Fire District 10 will also decide on a $15.2 million bond to replace the district's headquarters in Amboy, a building that has served the community for more than 60 years. Leaders say aging pipes and a growing population are behind the need. If voters approve the bond, property taxes would increase 45 cents per $1,000 of assessed value.
It is a big ask for our customers. It is time. It's necessary for us to do this.
Now, elections officials are also urging voters to mail in their ballots or get them inside a drop box by 8 p.m. next Tuesday. And if you still need to register to vote, there's no problem there. You can still do that in person. You'll also receive a ballot at the elections office. And the primary election is set for Tuesday, August 4th. Matthew, China.
Corey Johnson reporting live. Thank you, Corey. Meantime, the Oregon Health Authority is making sure that you are staying safe when heading out for a swim. It says algae blooms are spreading across the Willamette River from Ross Island to Kelly Point. Algae levels are still safe for people to go in the water, but not for pets. The health authority says it will continue monitoring levels throughout the summer.
More than 12,000 pounds of bacon imported from Canada are being recalled. The USDA says Maple Leaf Foods smoked bacon never went through required U.S. import inspection before hitting shelves. The bacon was sold at grocery outlet stores in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho under the Royale and Top Value brand names with sell-by dates in early September. No illnesses have been reported, and officials say if you have it, you should throw it away or return it where you bought it.
Well, 2 more healthcare locations have been identified as potential measles exposure sites. The first is the ER at Randall Children's Hospital in North Portland. The Oregon Health Authority says a person with the measles was there last Thursday and Friday night and Saturday morning. The second spot is Providence St. Vincent in the East Pavilion Medical Office. That exposure was on Monday morning. So if you think you may have been exposed, you should reach out to your doctor.
Portland Police and PBOT are encouraging people to register their bikes. More than 2 million bikes are stolen in North America each year. They say registering your bike can protect you from bicycle theft. Because the police don't know who owns the bike, they can't get it back to you. Registration is free. You can register on the Project 529 website or go to the bike registration page on the City of Portland's website. From there, you can get a decal with a unique code that can be tied to your bike's registration.
The annual PDX Adult Soapbox Derby is almost here. This year's Derby is happening from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, August 15th at Mount Tabor Park. Registration to be in the race is closed, but you can still sign up to be a volunteer if you want. For more details, head to soapboxracer.org.
That was fun. Some of it was pretty impressive. That was like an alligator. There's a hot dog. There's Rod. Rod, that's yours right there.
That does look like fun. I wonder how fast they go. I mean,
they look like they're moving pretty quick. Yeah.
Looks like they are moving. And then, our producer says what? Then they wipe out? Okay, all right. That looks like fun. Hey, this is great news. This is air quality this morning. Good air quality here on the west side. Westerlies continuing to disperse wildfire smoke, not in all areas, but many. And for the first time in a while this morning, you have to go all the way out to Union, Wallowa, and Baker counties to find any unhealthy air indices. Now, clearly, if you live near a wildfire center, then maybe your air quality is bad this morning as well. But on the main indices that Oregon DEQ reports from, the news is much better this morning overall. All right, in at Otter Crest down Lincoln County, this is looking up to the north. No marine layer at the beach this morning, so really pretty stuff. Here's Timberline looking at Jefferson. You can see some clouds filling in the gaps of the Cascades, but clear skies up top and really not very hazy either. As you look that direction down into Deschutes County, no air quality alerts today, so good news. 43 up at the lodge this morning. Nice crisp morning up there. Here in the valley, 54 in Tigard, Vancouver 59. Good morning to you. Happy Valley 53. Good morning to you. McMinnville 51 and Beaver Nation down there in Corvallis 56 degrees. Here's a look at our afternoon map. It's a dry one. You have the worst of the wildfire smoke out in eastern Oregon again today. Central Oregon is vastly improved. There are some air quality alerts in Central Oregon, but the worst of it, as we just saw, is off to the east. 60s at the coast. You get just inland along the beach, and it will be 70s today. This shows low 80s in Portland, Salem, and Albany in our 7-day forecast. Beautiful weather. Sun today, 83. Same thing tomorrow. Could be 90 on Friday, leaving us at 89. And then growing confidence that our weekend will only hold in the 70s with a mixed bag of cloudiness. There's actually a cool front that comes in on Saturday, and that's your forecast.
Thank you, Rod.